Thanks for joining me here. We're editing some winter woodland photos taken on Monday. And if you follow Dowling Studio on any other social media, you will have seen our Monday gratitude walk out in the storm. No, for those who've been following the weather in Michigan, you know we've had multiple storms. We are embracing it. We're getting lots of good winter weather here. And so I need to bring in some of my photos here. And I'm going to show you my photo import process here. So I'm looking at this backwards. I want my photos from 119. We're just going to add all of those. We actually don't need most of them. We're going to throw most of them out. And I want to add one more to this roll. And I actually may have, yeah. I have my panorama stitching folder over here. This is a collection of things that I've stitched together over the years. And I'm stitching these in another program called Luminar Neo. Okay, and unfortunately that isn't where I wanted. I think this is what I wanted. Yeah, there's the folder I wanted. There's my new images. Let's bring all of those in. I think only one of them we want for this particular instance. Indeed, we're looking for this one. And this is the photo that I just merged. And we're using Darktable, and Darktable is really, really great for handling certain things. There's a tool in here called the Tone Equalizer. I love the Tone Equalizer. So what we do, we've got to adjust a thing there, and then it can tell me how dark these are. And so like my trees here are -4, roughly -4 EVs, exposure values. My snow is roughly at 0.1 EV, 0.4 EV. So I want to brighten up my snow a lot. It's too dark. There we go. Look at that. Look how bright that is. That's so nice. I really love that. And what else have we got here? I feel like in this -4 range, you get 3.7 to 4.3. So this is roughly the -4 range. Those are just a little dark, and I want to raise those up. I'll bring those right back down. In the background, you may hear my wife telling the cats to stop being bad cats. Sorry, I accidentally. All right, so let's brighten that up in there, and I've gotten good details, and I might push that up just a little bit more. As you can see how the detail has come up in there quite nicely. Oh, isn't that lovely? That's a new feature, this version of Darktable I haven't used before. I can just hover over a thing and it will lift the color of whatever I'm hovering over. That's just about perfect. Look at that. Well, that's so nice. I love that. I'm just getting used to this new version of Darktable. All right, so that's our tone equalizer. There's another thing I want to take care of. Uh, I want to choose how our colors are getting translated. The raw data is getting translated onto the screen. I'm going to use this feature called AGX. It's uh, the newest renderer in Darktable, and if you look at that, that just makes it so beautiful. As soon as I turn that on, one of the things in Darktable is that you can choose how your raw data gets translated to actual colors. And in most photo editing software, they just have one algorithm. So Photoshop or Lightroom has their own, and Raw Therapy has their own, and Affinity has their own. But here we can choose, and the AGX is the newest one. It's designed to simulate silver halide films. This is old school darkroom films, and this being such a monochromatic picture, um, I think that's really handled very well by it, and I just love the way that played out there. In fact, let's go back there. I can turn that off. If I turn that off, it's a lot flatter. As soon as I turn it on, you can just see how the histogram bunched up there and things popped. Like this tree just pops here. The trees in the background just sort of fade out. They pull our focus to the front. Absolutely a beautiful tool. I'm so glad we've got that now. The only thing I might like to do, there's two things I'd like to do additionally on this. One is I think I want to up the contrast. And we have a tool called the contrast equalizer. It's very much like the tone equalizer. And we have it both for Luma is light and dark. Chroma is for colors, and this will raise your color contrast in certain regions. And if you're used to tools like Lightroom, this would be the equivalent of your noise, your detail, and your sharpness sliders. This is much more fine-grained. Up here is you're dealing with the clarity area. Down here, you're dealing more with the grain and noise area. So it's contrast on large things that I particularly care about. So yeah, I bring that up, and I've gotten really good. My trees became just a little bit crisper. I actually worry that might be just a little too much. This one has to be done delicately or it starts to look really bad. I don't feel like I really need to do small detail noise. Detail contrast enhancement. And this, I don't think that's going to give me anything. No, there's nothing useful to be gained there. So we're just going to pull that right back down where we found it. We're going to do the same here. If I bump this, just that. Well, that makes the trees a lot sharper, but I actually want to pull that back. The trees are getting too sharp. Sort of undoing that AGX work that I liked. I think that's pretty good though. We've got distinct trees there. Maybe put those in the background. Okay, now that's bringing up the bark. Again, that has to be done gently. We can. Okay, that's too much detail in the bark. I don't like it. It looks artificial. And a lot of it comes from that. That's probably more of it than this is. Pull that back. It's just slightly above. What is this doing here? Oh, now that's actually giving us nice action right in the bark. And look at that. It's making these lines in here are getting clearer. So I actually really like that. We're going to call that good. I can play with the chroma. I don't expect a lot. There's not enough color data in this picture to make a very big deal. Yeah, the chroma isn't really doing anything, so we're just going to leave that alone. I'm really pretty happy with that. The last thing I want to do with this is a vignette. We have a nice vignetting tool. All right, so these circles define our the fade off portion here, and this is the section that won't be affected by vignette at all. We control both saturation and brightness. I can pull my brightness down just a little bit. I really don't want to. I want to keep that really delicate. Otherwise, it doesn't look very good. What happens with my saturation? I can. Yeah, saturation isn't doing much. I'm just going to set that back to where it was. Bring that down slightly. And I think that is. I think that's good. We've got a nice focus that brings us in on the path here. This tree is good and clear. We won't be winning any awards with this photo, but I do like it. Anyway, folks, that's what I want to show you for tonight. This is our photo from Friday or from Monday, and this will be shared out on social media shortly. So thanks for tuning in, everybody who saw this or who sees this in the past, sees this when it's in the past, and we'll catch you later. Good night.